And if you want that change, as that darkness creeps in, remind yourself that you can do something about this. It doesn't have to be this way. We have allowed it to happen continuously because we feel like we have no control over it, because we have told ourselves for the longest that life is just life. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can easily become a victim of your circumstances, or you can be a freaking success story of whatever you are going through. It's hard, but it's doable. Welcome to the VetRise Podcast. I'm your host, Juan Perez. My goal is to make success after service accessible to every veteran in society. I believe in the power of leveraging your service, not as a label that defines you, but as a launching pad for your next chapter. What we have been doing has not been working, and it's on us to start changing the culture. Enjoy the episode, and thank you for your time. Today's topic is going to be about depression and sadness and anxiety and what you can do about it. Now, today was supposed to be a different topic, but I decided to change it last minute. And the reason why is because I'm going through something right now. And there was no way that I was going to be able to show up and put on the presentation that I needed to for what the topic was going to be about. But I also knew that I wanted to take this opportunity, and I always think about what the intention is. I always think about what is the intention behind what I'm doing. And I realized that the intention for today was to be able to convey a message and explain that we all go through this. And whether you are on the scale of where you suffer from depression or sadness or anxiety all the freaking time, or maybe it pops up on Fridays, or maybe a couple of times a month, but it happens. And what does it really mean, right? What does it mean when you feel down, or you're feeling blue, or you're feeling depressed? You see, in the past, years ago, I didn't name it. I didn't think about it. I didn't address it. It's just how I felt. But because I didn't name it, because I didn't look at it, because I didn't try and process what I was feeling, I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Life has changed for me. When I look back, I realized that I used to worry about what people thought about me, and nobody was preoccupied with me. Everybody is in their own heads. I realized that that means that I have to be in my own head. I have to think about me. And when you give yourself permission to think about you instead of the rest of the world, you can actually address your problems. Now, addressing your problems doesn't mean that you do it alone. Addressing your problems might mean making that appointment for therapy. It might mean going to get your prescription filled. It might mean going for a walk, making that phone call, going to the gym. Addressing your issues and the things that you are going through means that you are facing it head on. It's going to be hard. It's not meant to be easy, because if it was, guess what? It wouldn't be an issue. But today, I went through something that I've been going through for the past couple of months now that I keep trying to address. And I felt like it was an opportunity for me to give you guys a little bit of value. So the intention behind today is I'm going to kind of explain what is it that was happening to me and what I did about it and what I'm going to continue to do about it. So whether you have to save this into your little mental Rolodex, or whether you're going through this, or whether this is something that happens to you, maybe it's every day, maybe it happens once in a while, but like we go through these moments of what feels like extreme sadness. And when we feel that extreme sadness, or those blues, or that feeling of not having control, it starts to feel like everything around us is just closing in on us. And that happened to me today. Moment of vulnerability, for those of you that know, you already know. For those of you that may not, I'm going through a fairly tumultuous divorce. And I share this because there is nothing wrong with being vulnerable. In fact, when you share, you give other people permission to do the same thing because they don't feel alone. And this isn't my first divorce. But I know that this one is not my doing. I know that this one, I will be okay at the end. And as I'm going through it, it's not about thinking about right now and what I feel right now. Because if I look at my life right now, in the small scope of things, I could very easily get stuck in this unhappy mindset. And again, moment of vulnerability. It's been freaking hard. Today I went to my garage to try and get a workout in, to try and get myself out of that negative state. And I walk into my garage and it's completely trashed. Somebody decided to do that. And it hurts me. It gives me anxiety. It makes me feel unsafe in my own home. A home that I bought, that I brought someone into. But I have to remember that it won't always be like this. And the skills that I learned from the military of you put me in a room, in a barracks room, and I can survive, I'm using those now. Because that's what I'm doing. And I'm being there for my kids. And I'm doing this right now. I'm being vulnerable and I'm being honest. Not just for you guys, but for future me. Today I took my phone out. And when I was at my lowest, I recorded a 1-minute video. When I felt like shutting down and just crying myself to bed and like not waking up, I recorded a 1-minute video. And then I just started taking steps. I felt I was at my lowest. All I wanted to do was go and crawl in my bed, and I didn't want to wake up. Like, that's how I felt today. And I've told myself that when I get to that point, all that I have to do is take one little step. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to solve all my problems right there. I don't have to get myself out of the funk. But I have to crawl out of it little by little by little. And I did that. Slowly, I made my bed, even if it wasn't perfect, because that meant I wasn't going to crawl into my bed. I turned on all the lights in my house. I threw on a podcast that I wanted to listen to that I knew would make me feel a little bit better. I forced myself to jump into my ice barrel. And you see, when I'm at a great point, when things are flowing and things are in a really great place, all of these things get me to 100 plus. But when you're at 0, the ice barrel might get me to 10. And turning on the lights and going outside and getting some sunlight, that might get me to 20. And maybe a cup of black coffee that I really need to just get my energy levels a little bit lower, maybe that gets me to 30. The point is to get away from 0. The point is to understand that when you are at 0, you need to do something about it. There are moments, there is usefulness in feeling that sadness sometimes. But the thing is, when you get stuck there, it is very hard to crawl out of that hole. It is very hard to crawl out of that hole. So I'm telling you guys that when you start to feel it, you just have to do something. It doesn't have to be perfect. I went to my gym. After I did all these little things to get me to the gym, I snapped and I just took my pre-workout. I just said, fuck it. And I took my pre-workout because guess what? I'm going to want to work out after that, even if it's a little bit forced. And I get to my gym and what do I find? My gym is trashed. And what did I want to do? Well, I started going back down to 30. And then I started feeling that 20. And I told myself, I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm going to do something. And I did a workout. And it wasn't the best workout. I didn't make any PRs. I didn't set any records. I didn't freaking destroy today. But I survived today. I'm here. Life is going to throw a lot of stuff at you. Life will always life. And the reason why this is so important to me is because I want permanent change for you. I want all of you guys to have the tools that no matter where you end up, you can succeed. Maybe some of you will go on to become coaches yourselves. Maybe you'll get a promotion and you will use some of these tools at your job. Maybe you start your own company. Maybe you decide that you want to be a content creator. This program is meant to help you fucking win. If I can help you shift your mindset. If on that random Wednesday when you just don't want to do anything and you just want to crawl in bed at night, you can tell yourself, no, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to get my ass to the gym, even if it means doing what I can. Because slowly but surely, when you are in that darkness and you can find the light to guide you out of it, it becomes less and less of a frequent thing. And I'm not telling you to ignore your problems. When you find yourself out of that darkness and you are in the light, you might have a little bit more capacity. Maybe you're at 70 to make that appointment for your therapy, to get your meds filled, to decide that you need to make an actual change in your situation so you stop feeling this way, to end the relationship, to quit the job, to start your own company. We feel how we feel because of our environment. That is it, point blank. Internally, sure, there's a lot of other chemicals and stuff going on. Yes. But our environment dictates a lot of what we feel. You go outside and it's sunny and there's birds whistling and kids playing, you're going to feel good. You go outside and it's snowing or raining and it's cold and it's miserable and there's a car crash down the street. You hear sirens. There's people just, doing drugs down the street. You are not going to feel very happy, are you? It's very easy to realize that your environment does have a lot to do with how you feel. You really are a product of your environment. However, you are in much more control of your environment than you know, because your environment is not just your geographical location of where you live in the United States. Your environment is literally what is around you, your environment. So if your car is a mess and you have trash and you don't upkeep it and your room is a complete disaster, or the friends that you keep around you are not good people, but maybe they've been friends for so long that you're just used to it. And when you go to work, your cubicle is completely dark and it's negative and you don't have any pictures up of your family. Or when you're at the gym, maybe when you go to the gym, you don't have the right environment either. Maybe you need to find a new playlist. It sometimes is as simple as that. And when you change your environment, that looks like changing your habits, deciding that the clutter in your room and the fact that everything is a disaster around you is part of why you start to feel sad and angry and depressed. But like I said, you have to look at it as a choice. Because when we don't look at it as a choice, when we tell ourselves that this is just something chemical, it happens, we have no control over it, we are giving up any willpower we have to make a difference in our life. Now, whether it's something internal or external, I want to remind you guys have willpower. It's real. And as you go through it, and as you realize that you do have willpower, you can flick on the lights. You can throw on your shoes in the morning. You can have that coffee. You can go on autopilot and set yourself up the night before so you try and get better sleep. Because I promise you, the scrolling on the phone, the staying up late, looking at lights, that's the reason you can't sleep at night. And then you wonder why you can't wake up with energy in the morning. We do it to ourselves sometimes. We can't tell ourselves that it's our environment if we keep choosing our environment to be the way it is. If you are having trouble sleeping, if you are having trouble waking up in the mornings, do everything you can to make sure you optimize your environment. Set your alarms, go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time, especially if you don't have a crazy schedule. Put your phone on sleep mode at a certain time every night and put it across the room. Set your alarms up so they wake you up. Have your morning drink right there next to you. 12 ounces of water, a little bit of lemon juice, and a pinch of sea salt, and I promise you, it will wake you up in the morning. Right after you wake up, you drink it. Take your cold shower in the morning. Stay away from the empty carbs and sugars because they're not going to make you feel better. They're going to give you a quick dopamine hit, but then it goes away. Do everything you can to get yourself out of that darkness. Look for support in the community. Speak up. All right, let's stop for a minute. This is the part of the episode where I ask you to do me a favor. But it's not a favor for me. It's a favor for your fellow brothers and sisters that served with you. If you know someone that has been struggling, if you know someone that has been going through it right now, and you know that they want better for their life, they just don't know how to do it, please share this episode with them. It might just be exactly what they need. That's it. That's my only ask. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Back to the episode. I made these videos that I made today for myself. And maybe I'll post them. As a matter of fact, I know I'll post them. I know that in 1 year, when I'm in a different place and things are completely different, I'm going to probably make a reel out of it because it's important. It's important to not only record and memorize and memorialize the good times, but the bad times too. Because it lets you see the progress you've made. And we're all about tracking, right? Now, I'm not here to bring you down and tell you that the world is sad. No, the world is amazing. Life is beautiful. And you guys are all here living it. You are accountable to yourselves. You're making a difference. You've decided to be here and make a change for your life. And if you want that change, as that darkness creeps in, remind yourself that you can do something about this. It doesn't have to be this way. We have allowed it to happen continuously because we feel like we have no control over it, because we have told ourselves for the longest that life is just life. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can easily become a victim of your circumstances, or you can be a freaking success story of whatever you are going through. It's hard, but it's doable. I have had so many reasons in the past 5, 7, 8 years to give up and quit. But the only thing that keeps me going, the smallest little thing that keeps me from quitting. And you might think that, well, it's my kids, right? Or it's my future. The small little thing in the back of my mind that keeps me going is the fact that I remind myself that it is my choice. I can do something about this. I am not confined to a life that I don't want to live. Whether it takes baby steps or whether I take massive action, whether I file for divorce, whether I decide to quit my job in November, or whether it's just getting out of bed and just driving to the gym. I have the choice. And when you can remind yourself that you have the choice, it becomes a little bit more bearable. You remind yourself that it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to hit your 10,000 steps for today if you are in that darkness. But you have to find light somewhere. And then you have to start walking towards it. And you have to be honest with yourself. And then you have to look and analyze and try and figure out why this keeps happening. A lot of people will tell you that time solves everything. I disagree with that. Time alone does not solve anything. The problem will persist. The relationship will stay. Things will not change. Time with action is what solves things. A lot of people don't realize that action has to be taken. It cannot just be time. So if you're in that darkness and you think that just going through it, eventually you will come out of it, you may. But what if you don't? What if it becomes the norm? What if you get used to this sadness? What if it becomes the norm and you feel like you don't have a choice? And your whole life feels like you're living in this black and white movie and you have no taste of anything or for anything. That is what scares me. So you have to come back to understanding that choice is yours. And you have to do something. And maybe that means just setting the alarm and just deciding that you are committed to change. And you wake up, and even if you feel like a freaking zombie, you drive to the gym, you pump your pre-workout, and you go through the motions. I promise you, you do that for a week, eventually you will get better results and you will feel better. And then all of a sudden you don't feel like a zombie anymore. and that darkness doesn't creep in as much. And you play with your kids a little bit more. And you start to go to bed on time. And then you make changes in your life. And you stop buying the beer every weekend. Or you stop smoking those cigarettes. Or you stop allowing your mom to control your love life. Or you stop allowing your friends to interfere with your personal decisions. Or you stop allowing work to come home with you. And then you start realizing that you have choice. I want you guys to remember that. Thank you for your time, guys. I appreciate you. Whew. Today was heavy. And I just want you guys to know that we go through it. I am not special. I am not an alien where I don't feel the feelings that you feel. I feel them too. But just like everybody here, you are deciding to do this right now with your time. And we only have 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week, and you are deciding to spend one of those hours right here. Which means that you understand the value of choice. You could be anywhere else in the world right now, but here you are. And not only do I appreciate that, but I want to acknowledge the fact that I am proud of each and every one of you. But I want you guys to know just how committed I am to helping you guys. Which is why I was not going to sit here and lie to you guys and tell you, oh, for macros, we're going to do this today. No, I didn't feel up for that. This is what had to happen today. And again, this isn't to bum you guys out or to bring you guys down. This is to remind you, you have choice. And maybe today is not one of those dark days, but when those dark days happen, pull out your phone and record yourself. A 1-minute video. As a matter of fact, you know what?
I'm making this video because Alex Hormozy said you should document the low points. Today's July 18th, and all I want to do is crawl in bed and not wake up. It's an off day for me. I'm not working, and I should be getting a bunch of stuff done for my business. I got sales calls, but all I want to fucking do is just go to sleep and never wake up. And that sounds fucking terrible. I can't. I can't. It's sunny outside. I should be in a better place right now. But I feel fucking empty. And it made sense. I'm going through a divorce. I don't have any friends. I have people I know. I have people I work with, but I don't have any friends. And I know that's so hard to say. And if you're watching this and you consider yourself my friend, you are. But right now, I personally just feel alone. So please don't take this personally. I have 1,000 things I should be doing right now. I have things that I want to do. I just can't. I can't. I have a sales call that I'm about to hop on in 3 minutes, and I'm going to have to put on a face and smile and ask him to do things that I can't even fucking do right now. I hope I come out of this. But I just wanted to document this.
And then I just started moving. I wanted to get in bed, but I didn't. And I forced myself to just take those steps when I was in that darkness. And I just did something. And because of that, I don't feel that darkness right now. It's not present. And to me, that means that, you know what, tomorrow is going to be a better day. And as I finished my workout, I made another video for myself. But I'll share it with you guys.
When you're feeling down, when you're feeling weak, just go to the gym. Get a workout in. Today was a really hard day for you. And you just want to quit. You just want to lay in bed. But you force yourself to get to the gym. You force yourself to even just to go into your garage and just do a workout. And you feel better. So just remember, man, it might feel like the world is crashing down on you, but it's not. It just feels that way. Lean into the things that you know help you. The things that will save you. Don't go into the darkness. Find light wherever you can. And just do what you have to do. I promise you, it gets better. I love you.
And it helps. And I feel better. And I want to reiterate that we all go through this in one way, shape, or form. And when you are there, it really does feel like the world is crashing down around you. But I want you to know that you have to lean into the things that save you. Your systems, your safety nets, the things that you have automated, whether it's an alarm in the morning to wake you up and you listen to my podcast, or whether it's just making sure that you turn on the lights in your house, or whether it's going to bed in your freaking gym shorts. Sometimes you just have to go on autopilot for a little bit. And I promise you, you come out of it. That's going to be it for today. I feel full, but I also feel like I let go of a lot of stuff. So thank you guys for my therapy session.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of the VetRise Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, made you think, or simply gave you hope, I have a small favor to ask. Share it with just one veteran or someone you think could benefit from my message. Your share could light a spark for them. You don't know who you might save. For more insights and to join our mission, follow my socials at JP the Veteran Coach and explore how we can rise together. Thank you for joining us, for being part of this journey, and for believing in the power of rising together. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep rising, and never forget that we are stronger together. My name is Juan Perez, and thank you for your time.